Hey guys, it's Tanya here. So you can tell by the mess in front of you, it is collection time. So I've been asked to do this video quite a bit, so I am going to do it finally. But I'm going to break mine into sections because otherwise it takes way too long, honestly, guys. So I'm going to do a face foundation routine or foundation collection, and then I'm going to do the blushes, highlighters, and then the eyes, and then the lips. So it's going to take a couple days to probably get this all up, but we're going to start with foundations today, so let's go ahead and do that. I store all my makeup in this Alex, well, I shouldn't say all. I store most of my makeup in this Alex drawer set from IKEA, and if you open it up, they're quite long in the back because it's got a lot of room, and then I just buy these storage containers. They're like kitchen utensil storage at any local store. I buy mine at Winners in Canada, which I don't think you guys have in the States, but it's like your Ross. So any kitchen container store will have something like this. So in this first one, I keep my primers and my loose powders. So let's start there. My favorite primer for me, drugstore, is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer. It is just this beautiful, like, smooth consistency. It looks kind of like the Smashbox Photo Finish with a little bit more white, but it does go on very clear. And then Highend, of course, is Smashbox Photo Finish. I use this a lot when I'm working. And if somebody has really oily skin, then I always reach for the MAC matte gel. So those are the three I would recommend for primers. Now, loose powders are something I don't use a ton of because I don't have really oily skin, so I don't often have to set my makeup. But if you do have oilier skin, or you are going to be out in the sun, setting your makeup is always a good plan. So my favorite loose powders are the Inglot one, and this one looks like it has a color tint to it, like it looks like it's beige. It's not. It's completely translucent once you get it on. And then my second favorite is the Holly North No Color Powder. We received this at school, and I love this powder. So that's that drawer. We're going to put it back in here. You'll notice I didn't pull some drawers out because they just have basic stuff that we'll go over in a minute. In this drawer is where I keep most of my concealers, and also I have these little sample size bottles. We'll get to those in a minute. For concealers, I love the Benefit Erase Paste. I'm in color number 2. I find 1 just too light for me. And then this is the Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Fair. Now this is too light for me. I do have to get the medium one. But this is the old packaging of it, which I have, and then this is the new packaging. Same product, same color, just new packaging. So this is also in the color Fair. But it has the new antimicrobial ball on the top as opposed to just a tube. This is the Cover FX water-based foundation. It's in Natural Effects. It's in color E0. I am almost out of this stuff, and I love it, so I'll be sad when it finishes, but I'm just trying to get this one done now, so I have one less foundation to deal with. Now back here you'll notice a bunch of little sample size jars. This is what I take when I'm working so that I don't have to take a whole glass bottle of foundation with me. So they're all labeled and they all tell you what they are. And I just grab one of these generally and put it in my kit. So that's what those are. Those are great if you are a working makeup artist because they're just so easy to travel with you, and then you don't have to worry about big spillage. The other great thing about these is you screw off this top and you'll see underneath it, it's just like another dropper size. So you can just squeeze out, 1 or 2 drops of product. It's not like you have to pour it out onto your palette, right? Which is nice. So then in these ones I've got kabuki brushes that I don't use ever. And this one is my e.l.f. kabuki, which honestly, is my favorite kabuki of all time. See? It's so soft. And I use this for applying that loose powder. This is my Beauty Blender sponge, which is what I normally put my foundation on with, if I'm not using my Sigma brushes, which I will talk about later. And then in here is hair ties, and then in here there's just a big thing of sponges. So then back up here we've got, let's go through this little stuff first. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Pressed Powder. This is a finishing powder, so again it's just like those loose translucent powders. It's just white colored, as you can see, and you just use it with a brush or a sponge applicator to just apply on your face to take any shine away. This is my Derma Color Camouflage System Concealer Palette. Basically, this is every color you could possibly imagine to make any other color you could possibly need to conceal people with. So I suggest highly in picking one of these up. And the nice thing about these is you think like, oh, well, what happens if I run out of just one color? Well, each one of these little colors pops out on its own. Like, they all just are little round They just pop out, and you can just replace one color or you can replace the whole palette. It's up to you. So that's nice. And this is the Ben Nye Media Pro HD palette. Now, I use this mostly for work. I take it with me when I'm, you know, like next week I'm doing a fashion show, so I'll be taking this with me because it just has multiple colors in it, as you can see. So there's no face that I can't mix a color for or pull a color for right out of here. And it has warms and colds, so that's really nice. It's a great, like, handy dandy tool to take with you when you're working. And then last but not least is my personal foundation drawer. So in here I have my Magic Perfecting Base Primer, which is one of my favorite primers. This is made by L'Oreal. This just gives the face such a smooth finish, and it fills in any like wrinkles or acne scarring or any of that stuff just because it's kind of like a thicker feel. I really love that stuff. These are my Smashbox powders. This is my Halo powder. This one isn't fair. And then I also have the yellow powder, which I love. This is if you have really red skin, and I do sometimes have really red pigmentation, so that's a color corrector. These are two of my favorite MAC foundations. This is the Pro Longwear in NC20. I wear this in the winter mostly because my skin looks a little bit more yellow undertoned, and then in the summer I wear NW20, and this is, as you can see, just a more pinky tone foundation. And then this is my favorite springtime foundation. It's so light and hydrating. This is the Clarins Skin Illusion Mineral and Plant Extracts Foundation. It has SPF 10 in it, as you can see. This is my favorite spring foundation. My color is Ivory 103. I don't know if you can see that. But this just goes on so nice, and it gives you such a shimmery glow. It is more of a pricey foundation, but it is really good for your skin. I have eczema and super sensitive skin, so when I'm wearing something every day, this does not affect me as bad as wearing like my MAC every day would. And this is just more MAC pressed powders. And then this is my current favorite foundation. This is the Makeup Forever HD in color number 117. I tried 3 samples out from Sephora. Anyone who watches my videos knows. I tried the NARS Gobi Sheer Foundation. I tried the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. And I tried the Makeup Forever. I ended up purchasing the NARS and returning it because it was so bad in oxidization that it drove me crazy. And then I purchased the Makeup Forever. Why I haven't picked up the Tarte Amazonian Clay yet is because it is a much... Oops, I just dropped that. Sorry, guys. There we go. It is a much thicker foundation, and so when I put it on the first time, I just used a brush, and I didn't, like a flat top, I didn't buff it. I just kind of like put it on and rubbed it in, and the girl at Sephora told me that if I use a rounder brush and I actually buff it around, that it'll give me a more hydrated glow. So I'm going to try that effect with this, and if I like it, I probably will pick that foundation up, but if I don't, then I won't. And then my favorite drugstore foundation, some of you already know, is Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. When I want to do my makeup really fast or I'm in a hurry, I reach for this. My color is 150 Classic Ivory, and this is the antimicrobial sponge again. So that's my foundation drawer, but there is more. Oh, this one's not going to fit in here today. There we go. So as you can see, this all like fits in there perfectly. That's the baby playing with his toy in the background. Sorry, guys. And then in here is where I keep the rest of my foundation. So in here is like literally the little travel-sized containers again. This is with primer now. And these are work foundations made by Cinema Secret. So they're heavier blended so that you can use them for theater makeup. This is the matte, my favorite matte concealer. And you can see there's a huge dent in that one. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. But this is NW20. It's one of my favorite concealers from MAC. And I don't use it as much anymore because I find that I have less to conceal. Then we have some Ben Nye foundations. This is like a pink tone foundation. So when I did a doll face look, I actually mixed this into the foundation and I used it to make it more of a pink tone. So I really like that. These are cream stick foundations, which are great for theater work. These are just some drugstore CoverGirl and some more drugstore, some pressed powders. And that's about it. That's really all that I have for foundations, guys. I'm probably going to do a special effects video separately because this is my special effects drawer, and there are things in there that we do use for foundation, but I think I will do a special effects video separately so you can see TV and film makeup kind of in its own little world. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that gave you some tips and tricks, well, at least some tips on what my favorite foundations are. As you can see, I've got a lot to do today. I've got to clean my desk off and clean out all my brushes because they're really dirty. Thanks for watching again. Have a great week because it's Monday today and everyone's back to work tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and look forward to the blush and highlighting video coming up next. Bye, guys.